Hi folks, today I want to talk about something that doesn't get enough credit in today's hunting world, and that's triggers. Triggers are extremely important for rifle shooting. A light trigger is a key to very, very good accuracy. The problem is, if you make it too light, it becomes dangerous in some situations. So the guys at Savage came up with the AccuTrigger. The AccuTrigger is basically a solution for lighter triggers, but to keep them safe. The engineers and the research and development team at Savage came up with the AccuTrigger, which basically is a two-stage trigger. So it's a trigger that needs to have two stages enacted for it to go off, which enables you to lighten that trigger up a little bit, but not have it go off accidentally. So what happens is that it's got a trigger inside a trigger. So when you cock the gun, the primary trigger pops out. But for the gun to go off, you have to depress the primary trigger first and then the secondary trigger. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're hunting, especially with a Savage AccuTrigger. It's the best trigger I've ever used by far, hands down. It's very safe, it's light, it's crisp. It is an engineering marvel in triggers that we haven't seen a development like this in probably 2 or 3 decades. However, if you have real thick padded gloves, be careful that you don't, that you make sure you depress that first trigger properly to the second one to have a proper charge of the gun to go off. Otherwise, you'll just get that light click and no boom. So one thing to keep in mind when you're hunting with the AccuTrigger, I always shoot, even when it's super, super cold, I take my gloves off because I like to feel that trigger on my finger. I like to feel, even if my hand's really cold, I like to feel that trigger depress where I get it nice and snug against there and then just squeeze that last pound and a half to get that gun to go off. So something to keep in mind when you're shooting with an AccuTrigger, or if you're unfamiliar with the AccuTrigger, I suggest you check it out because it really has increased my accuracy with the rifle over the last 5 to 10 years I've been using it.
What a dandy.